Welcome to the GTP. My name is Scott and I cannot wait to show you this manga haul for the month of January. I did again. This is actually my biggest haul I've ever had to date with over 260 volumes. Now I do want to give fair warning. Majority of these volumes, a lot of them you'll see series that were reprinted. So some of these series I've ordered over a year, sometimes 2 years ago. Followed by Rights Up Anime had their winter sale, as well as the wonderful clearance sale and ongoing sales at Takara Cafe. So if you're curious, where did I get all this manga? Almost majority of it, probably 98% of it, was either Takara Cafe or Rights Up Anime. I'll have my links down below for affiliate if you're wanting to check out where probably the best places for you to buy manga. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you want to just sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee because it's going to be an enjoyable and long but hopefully beautiful process as we go ahead and go through this manga haul experience. Let's go ahead and first check out ongoing or missing titles that I received from Viz Media. In the first series where I picked up a few more missing titles, if you've seen from my last haul, this series is for my daughters, and that is Yona of the Dawn. Now it is one I want to read myself as well, but this is primarily I wanted to get something for my girls. They love fantasy series, and primarily their love series where it's not just always a lead boy. So I was excited to go ahead and get a couple more volumes. I've heard nothing but good things. It's on my radar as well, so hopefully I should have the rest of the volumes. They are reprinting, so I think within probably 2 months or so I should have the other volumes I'm missing, and I'm so excited to reveal to them that I got this series for them to go ahead and check out and read, and probably also for myself. Next, I picked up a series that I've been waiting over a year and a half, and that is D. Gray Man. Now this series, even one of the volumes was not even available to purchase at Right Stuff Anime for a long time, and that was this volume 7. So I was wondering, is this series getting out of print? So because of that, I didn't order it right away, and then of course none of the volumes were available, and then Right Stuff Anime added volume 7 back, so I said gotta back order the series. So a year and a half ago I back ordered the series. I'm so happy it's being reprinted right now. If you are even slightly hesitant if this is a series you're interested, I highly recommend checking out now. I can't imagine these staying in print for long. I know this is a hot series that a lot of people have been waiting a long time for, so if you have even an inkling, highly recommend checking out D. Gray Man. I'm only missing now, I think, 2 or 3 more volumes, and then I'll have the series. This is one of those series I've been waiting a long time that I dive in as I know very little about the story itself. Next up, I now have a series complete with all 45 volumes. I was waiting just for a few more volumes to finally come back, and that is Haiku. So I'm so excited to now have the entire series in completion. If you're looking for a sports manga, this one's about volleyball. This is up there with Slam Dunk as one of the best sports manga. A lot of people highly recommend. Some of my friends, it's in their top 10 of all time. So man, I was hesitant to collect for all just because 45 volumes is a lot, but after getting a killer deal at Takara Cafe, I made the jump. I got the series. I'm so happy that the last couple of volumes sent, and I can read the series. Next up, I got a couple more volumes of series that's currently being reprinted right now. If you're hesitant, this is another series you're going to want to check out right away, and that is Nana. As soon as it seems like the volumes come back in stock, they're out. So I believe there's just one more volume I need of this series, and I think that's volume 12. So once I get volume 12, I will have the whole series in completion. It took me almost 2 years to be able to get this whole series. I'm so grateful that Viz decided to reprint it. So if you're hesitant, highly recommend checking out. And I'm hoping one day that the author will go ahead and bring the series back from hiatus. There has been some rumors here and there over the years, but it's a series that just so many people love, even though it's on hiatus. So I'm just grateful. I need just that one last volume 12, and I can go ahead and start Nana. Now I'm very excited to share with you, I now have this series in completion after waiting almost 2 years and wondering if it was ever going to happen. Well, the Viz Media gods have answered our prayers, and Slam Dunk is now back in print. And as fast as it's getting in print is also as fast as it's getting out of print again, or in between print. So this is another series like Nana, like D. Gray Man. If you're like, I wonder if I should check this out, please look into it right away. If you're on the fence, I I would just get it. This is in the top 5 series of all time. It's a sports manga. And even if you think about it, if you're not even into sports and people love this series, it's one that's worth checking out. From the cast of characters. It's by this same manga artist and author as Vagabond. It's real. So if this is when you've been a little hesitant, highly recommend check out. I'm so grateful I have the whole series. This was on my list of series I want to read for this year. And because I have it now in completion, this will be one of the next series I'll read and hopefully give you a review to let you know, is this really the greatest of all time? Next up, another series where I only had 2 of the volumes. It just recently was getting reprinted, and that is Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, I was so happy that Viz decided to reprint the series, and they did the older spines, which I thought was interesting, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather have all the same looking spines on the back instead of only a couple. But I got all the volumes I was needing, which was 17 out of the 19 volumes. So here is Yu Yu Hakusho. I love the anime growing up. As I'm speaking right now, I can have the theme song in the beginning is running through my head, and then the ending song, the Sayonara Bye Bye, is also running in my head. But loved Yu Yu Hakusho. It's by the same author as Hunter x Hunter. This is his first series before that. So good, so amazing. It's old school, but I love it, the hilarity of it. And after just loving that nostalgia of the anime growing up, I wanted to go ahead and check out the manga and see the similarities or differences. And I heard it's very similar, but I thought it'd be nice to go back one last time, stroll through Yu Yu Hakusho, see the characters unfold just through the lens of the manga instead of the anime, which is now, as I'm talking about, makes me want to go back and rewatch the anime. So Yu Yu Hakusho is another series that just got recently reprinted. If it's one you've been interested in checking out, like D Gray Man, I feel like a broken record, like Slam Dunk, highly recommend checking these out now. I don't know how long they will be in stock, as this was a high demand reprinted series. Next up, I got 2 volumes used of a series that is now being printed by Viz Media. I didn't know before it wasn't, but they say there it's going to be reprinted. I don't know if it'll be reprinted. I was missing just 2 volumes, and I figured, you know what, I'll just go ahead and get these used. If they reprint these 2 other volumes that I'm missing of this series, then I'll go ahead and take those and swap these 2 out. But I got them for fairly cheap, way below, I believe, half off from retail, and that is 07 Ghost Volume 2 and 07 Ghost Volume 3. And this is actually used to be from a publisher called Go Kami. And for some reason, they no longer had the rights, or they gave the rights up, and then Viz Media went and they continued the series. Now the rest of 07 Ghosts I have from Viz Media. This series was highly recommended to me after I shared my top series of all time. If you've checked out my top 10 manga of all time video, highly recommend it. I had so many people share, hey, I would recommend checking out Eternal Sabbath and 07 Ghosts based off of your top 10. Now, because I couldn't find 2 or 3, I waited a while. I was like, it's gonna be, who knows how long it'll be. And you know what's interesting is most of the time when I film with my manga, when I showed my collection, I had so many people say, I've never even heard of 07 Ghosts. So because of that, I was a little hesitant. Will Viz Media reprint this one, especially if not a whole lot of people know about it? So I decided to be like, I'd rather get volume 2 and 3, even though it's not exactly from Viz Media, and go ahead and read the story and enjoy to see, is it worthy, along with my current top 10 manga of all time. And last from Viz Media, I got one series I have been waiting over a year and a half to be reprinted. It was finally reprinted this January, and that is Maid Sama. I had half the volumes currently. I'm so grateful this series is now back in print. This one is probably a little easier to check out. I love these nice 2-in-1 volumes they decided for, and it's still fairly cheap. I was getting for, I think, around $10 each. So if this is a series you've been on the fence about, you've been wondering, it is now back in print. So glad to have it all. And again, I'm frustrated as always. Don't really like in the last volume where they go ahead and show that, oh, maybe they get married. Really? For someone who hasn't read the series yet, I feel like so many of these type of manga with these romantic comedies it's almost like the volumes itself are spoiling it. So I would love more in the future. Maybe even, you know what, if they threw you off, you've never read the series, if they had a different couple on there instead, and you're like, oh, are they gonna marry that person instead? And then while reading it, you're thrown off from the cover, and it's actually who you thought the entire time. So that's my little suggestion. Don't know if they'd ever take it, but I think that'd be hilarious, and that helps some of us not be as frustrated when we see so many of these romantic comedies where the last volume seems to be them getting married. So that's all from Viz Media. Let's go ahead and check out ongoing or missing titles from Yen Press. And the first series I got that I've been waiting a while is Yaomushi Pedal. So these are 2-in-1 volumes. They are thick. Baby got back, as you can see, with these 2-in-1 thick volumes. Now I believe the first 2021 are out right now, which is from 2-in-1. That's over 40 volumes. I love just the bigger font and the size for these volumes. This is a bicycle racing manga. I have a bike. I'm not racing with it, but I do like the idea of using my bicycle more, and I've heard good things about this series. I ended up starting to check it out, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty enjoyable. So I was on the hunt for the reprints of it, and I got the volumes I was missing from the reprint. So because of that, I got the rest of them from the lovely Takara Cafe. I'm so happy to go ahead and now say this is complete and add this to my many backlog of series that I need to go ahead and start reading. Okay, let's go ahead and check out ongoing or missing titles from Kodansha, and that's only 2, and the first one is A Sign of Affection. This is volume 3. If you saw from the last haul, I got the other ones. This made the top 10 recommendations of best manga of all time from this last year, and I was like, I hadn't heard of it, embarrassingly. My friend Laura from her channel, she highly recommended this one and talked about it, so I was like, you know what, I gotta check this out for myself. So I'm so happy because I have volume 3, I can now go ahead and start reading the series. There's only 5 volumes out so far, so I'm excited. I have a 5-volume manga rule. I like to read the first 5 volumes before deciding if a series is worth it. Some people have the 3-volume rule. I like to give manga just a little more breathing room. So this is one I want to read soon and then give you my thoughts if it's really worth A Sign of Affection. And last missing from Kodansha is Eden Zero Volume 17. And I know you guys watch all my videos and you're like, wait a minute, Scott, didn't you already show Eden Zero 18 on one of your hauls for who knows how long ago? You're absolutely right, I did, and I did not realize I actually was missing 17. That was an error on my mistake, so I went and ordered that. I have the entire series. I have no excuse why I haven't started it. It's from the same author as Raidmaster and Fairy Tail, and I actually heard that this one's almost in completion soon, so it's not going to be a 70-volume series like Fairy Tail was. My guess it'll probably end before 30 volumes, so decided to go ahead and check out this sci-fi action adventure series. Now that's all I got for ongoing or missing titles. Let's go ahead and check out, as the majority is all fabulous and new. And this new to me series is a romantic comedy. I'm just really getting into those right now, or that slice of life genre. And that previous rant I had about marriage at the end, well, this one, Fly Me to the Moon, we can tell the marriage is happening in the very beginning. So I've been enjoying more of these just these series where you're seeing what's going on as they figure life out as adults instead of figuring out life in high school. I do enjoy those as well, but I'm not in high school. I'm married. I'd love to see some of those antics as an older person, so I ended up picking up all Fly Me to the Moon. This is a fairly easy series to pick up. The only volume that was in between prints for a while was volume 4. Luckily, that is available again, so if you're looking for a romantic comedy series, this is one that you can pick up right away. Fly Me to the Moon. I've been really enjoying that Shown Sunday line, especially a series like Komi Can't Communicate, so I was like, you know what, doesn't hurt to get another one as well. Also, Frieren, Journey Beyond End is on Shown Sunday, so why not get more Shown Sunday, as we've been enjoying the rest of them. Don't really have too many romantic comedies, don't have too many series that focus on the adults growing up and life after high school, so I was like, let's go ahead and get started. Next up, I got Seraph of the End. This is a series I actually wasn't sure if I ever wanted. I got all the volumes except I'm missing volume 10, but someone on Lovely OfferUp decided to sell the entire series for a little over $60. I was like, whew, that's really way under retail, so I was like, man, I gotta check this out. Series I'm on the fence. This is a series with the vampires are now ruling the land. Your person is hunting the vampires. I enjoy a good vampire series. If you're curious of a vampire series, I highly recommend checking out Call the Night. It doesn't really have much hunting. It's more on love and self-discovery, but if you're looking for more of that, let's go ahead and hunt the vampires, this is one. You can check out on the Shown Jump line. A little lesser known, but man, I mean, for $60, I was like, why not go ahead and check out the series? Worst case scenario, I'm sure I could resell the series and make my money back, but I am curious at some of these deeper cut series that don't get as much exclusivity and popularity. This one as well as Twin Star Exorcist, so because of that, I was like, I'd like to expand my knowledge, get to read a little more, so I just, as you can see, I couldn't say no, and now, once I get volume 10, I can go ahead and I can start Seraph of the End. Next up is a new series called Help. This just came out this past January. Highly enjoyed this series, and it's one that you will want to check out for yourself. This flips the script where in this series, the humans are kind of mean, and the humans are the ones that kind of took over the lands of the demons. This series, the Demon Lord has been taken down, and we need to find out who is now going to be the new leader. And lo and behold, how do you find out you need a new leader? Do they vote for office? Absolutely not. When it comes to demons, what they do is they have a giant tournament. Kind of like, I don't know, maybe Yu Yu Hakusho? Oh, that might be a little spoiler, sorry about that. So in this series, as you're following, this guy Help decide to enter the tournament, and he's not a demon but a human. What is this guy's motive? Why did he enter the tournament? Does he really want to be the leader, or is he under this masquerade to destroy them all? Find out. Check this out. Highly recommend. Again, it's hilarious. I enjoy this first volume. I'm looking forward to seeing the series, and this is quickly becoming one of my top favorite new series that are going to be for 2023. I am more than sure it's going to make my top 5 for my video when we come out at the end of the year. What were the best series of 2023? Next up is a series I got for my daughter. Now, Colleen Manga Rex, she's the one who recommended this to me as I asked her what are some good manga for a younger audience, and that is Snow White with the Red Hair. Now, I got a couple volumes here. You might be like, Scott, how come we only got a couple volumes? Well, Takara Cafe hasn't come in yet. They had a really good where they had majority of the volumes on clearance, so I went and I picked those up. So I'm looking forward to just needing a couple more volumes of the series, and I can surprise my daughter with another series that she can read as well as I can read as well, as this is a series that I know is on a lot of people's top 10 list for shoujo manga, so that is Snow White with the Red Hair. Next is another shoujo series that was in between prints for a long time. The whole series just got reprinted, and I got all of the series except for volume 1, as I'm waiting for volume 1 from Takara Cafe. That should be coming in soon. I got on clearance, and that is Kami-sama Kiss. This is a series about a lovely girl whose father has a gambling issue, and because of that gambling issue, they become homeless. Because of her being homeless on the street, she ends up meeting this fox guy up on a tree, and he makes her an offer of, hey, you can come live with me. She says yes because she's homeless, and because of that ends up discovering this is a shrine. This guy is the god of this little temple. So I'm looking forward to finding out the antics of this series. It's one that I was a little hesitant on, but I was like, I don't know. It's been in between prints for a while, and man, Viz Media is crushing it right now in these reprints. So because of that, I went ahead and I grabbed the series. As they're falling down, as you can see, we got, again, all the volumes except for volume 1. I know Takara Cafe will be coming in clutch, and I should be able to show you that volume 1 hopefully the next haul, and after that I can start reading the series. It is a little painful, but that's my fault of knowing that you have all the volumes except for that one volume in the beginning to go ahead and start reading the series. So I'm looking forward to grabbing more shoujo series as I want to expand my mind and then what I'm reading and be able to see from different perspectives and genres. So this is one I'm looking forward to reviewing in the future. And if you're curious, you're wondering, how does it end? Again, people, let's have this be a different couple instead. Let's have her with someone else or him with somebody else. Let's throw people off, because now I feel like I've already been spoiled. Next up, I got another series that has recently been reprinted as some of the volumes were missing for a while. I'm missing one 2-in-1 volume left. I think it's number 11, but this, I believe, I don't want to butcher, but Kuroko Basketball. After, man, just with Slam Dunk, heard really good things about this series. I'm like, you know, it's being reprinted. We got a coupon. It's fairly on a good sale. Worst case scenario, if we don't enjoy it as much, it's one that maybe we could either give away or be able to resell it at the same price I got it. So because of that, I went and I was like, I am really enjoying sports series lately. So because of that, we went and decided to pick up another one. These are lovely 2-in-1 volumes. I appreciate it. It has the old logo. Appreciate them doing that as well for Viz. So because of that, we have, again, all the volumes except for one. It does say more is on the way, and that volume that I'm missing is also in stock at Barnes & Noble. So my hope is that I will be able to get that copy soon and not be reeling in that I didn't just decide to pay retail price and make it so I could have the whole series now. So that is all of Kuroko Basketball. Oh, look at this. Is it final? Did they win the tournament? I don't know. They didn't show that. Did they get married? Nope. It's not on there either. Wouldn't this have been great for that other cover? Yes. Yes, I think so. So we are now on the last new to me series from Viz Media. It's another shoujo series. This one they say is peak fiction of peak fiction, and that is Skip Beat. Now Skip Beat has 47, almost 48 volumes in America. They're still coming out. But this is a series, after Colleen raving about it and then seeing other people put this in their top 10 manga series of all time, it's one that I just had to check out for myself and find out about this girl as she starts her showbiz journey. If it's one that I think is just as worthy to be as peak fiction, one of the best series of all time. So looking forward to this. It's gonna be a bit, as some of the volumes are in between prints right now, but because it's an ongoing series and it's extremely popular, I'm sure that it will probably be a couple months, hopefully less than a year, to get the volumes I'm missing. Luckily, I got a little over 30 of the volumes so far, and if you're wondering, Scott, why'd you get so much of this and how much did you pay for it? Well, if you're wondering, I got this from Takara Cafe. It was a steal of a deal, my friend. If you're on the fence and you're looking to get Skip Beat, you don't have it yet, even if you have to back order some of them, go ahead and check out Takara Cafe. Takara was also nice enough to partial ship as I ordered the entire series. So when it comes to looking for manga that, man, this is a big series to commit to, but you want to commit to it anyways, you're not sure, check out Takara Cafe. Highly recommend being a Patreon member so that way you get a better discount. If you're on the fence, you can use my affiliate link below that will give you a discount as well if you only want to get some of them. But I'm very, very grateful that this is a series because of Takara and because of their prices, because of how awesome Corey is as the owner. I was able to go ahead and take the plunge and take the risk to check out this series and find out really if this is the peak fiction that has been raved about so much. And look at this. Nope, not married. Oh, still not married. Look like there might be some trouble going on. I appreciate that, but I also don't think this is anywhere near completion. And hopefully Viz Media, for listening to the last volume, will look more like drama instead of the idea of a potential marriage. Moving on, let's go ahead and check out New to Me series from Yen Press. And the first one I picked up from Takara Cafe again. He was nice to send half the volumes. The other volumes actually just shipped, so it should be in my next manga order. I'll have it complete, and this is Re:Zero. This is another isekai story. I actually really do like isekai manga. I love the idea of having this, you know, if you really come back to life, have this fantasy RPG world of magic. I played a lot of Japanese RPGs when I was a kid, so there's just some nostalgia to it, as well as I just like that idea if it really existed and what would that look like as you're trying to figure that out. So because of that, I went ahead and picked this up. I had a few people that recommended this series to me as well, but I was more on, it's one of the more popular isekais. I like isekais, so I went ahead and decided, let's go and make the plunge and check out ReZero. Next up from Yen Press, that's new to me, is A Bride's Story. These are beautiful hardcover edition, and I will say the artwork is just, it's phenomenal. This is from the same author as Emma. I got 3 of the volumes from Right Stuff Anime, and I got the rest of the series on clearance at Takara Cafe. So between the two, phenomenal deal. It's a series I wanted to check out, and because of that sale on clearance, I went and I made the plunge to check this out. And again, I'm blown away at the artwork for the series. There's just so much detail and attention. Not only do you have a good story, but you have something that's very beautiful to look at while you're flipping through the panels, and that's always a win-win. So I'm looking forward to this. This is one I actually want to start way fairly soon, and I really appreciate the hardcover editions. I wouldn't mind paying a little more for manga if they had more series that they decided to go ahead and share the hardcover editions instead of just having it fully at paper. Next up from Yen Press, I got No Longer Heroine Volume 2. You might be wondering, where's Volume 1? Well, Volume 1 was ordered from Takara Cafe and should be in here soon. This series, I did a top 10 new manga for 2022, and this was on Laura's list of best manga that she highly recommended. She loved it. So because of that, she sold me on her telling of how wonderful the series is. So I went and I got the first and second volume. Second volume came in. First volume hopefully should be here soon, and I can go ahead and tell you what I think of this series to see, is Laura right? And last from Yen Press, new to me, is I got another isekai story. This one I saw on the back as advertisement. This is Tanya of Evil. This series was actually on the back of Emmis in the Shadows. I recently did a review of Emmis in the Shadows. Highly recommend checking out. I'll put that as one of the video options at the end. But Tanya the Evil is another isekai. Because I enjoyed Emmis in the Shadows, I saw this was being advertised on the back. Because of lovely Takara Cafe having their wonderful sales, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get it. So here is the series. We got all of them that are currently available. The series is actually fairly easy to collect. So if you're into isekai genre, if you're looking for one of the more better known ones, this is a series that you might want to go ahead and look into yourself and go ahead and pick up a couple of volumes. It's one that I'm looking forward to reading and be able to give you my take, as I am one that just really enjoys the isekai genre. Let's go ahead and check out New to Me from Kodansha. I only got one series from them that's new to me. This series was recommended by Manga Sloth, and I was like, yeah, man, how much he's talking about is one I want to check out myself. Let's find out this young scholar, and that is Mangas in the Library. Now, some of the volumes were out of in between prints, and they just came back. Now, you might be noticing, where's Volume 1? Takara Cafe had on clearance. Snatch that up, and I'm sure it's going to be sent here as soon as you see. Nice and thick. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate that, getting more manga for my buck, to know that this is the same price as some other series, but a lot more thickness. As you can see, just a bigger size of the book itself, so I'm very grateful to go ahead. Because there's only 5 volumes out, one I want to deep dive in soon and tell you what I think, if this is as good as Manga Sloth is saying. Let's go ahead and check out New to Me from 7 series, and the first series I got was Kimono. I want to say Jihen. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. This is a series from a monster hunting detective. This came out last year. Unfortunately, I didn't get this volume until just now, but it's one I've been wanting to read to see, is this worth the top 10 of best manga come out in 2022? So this is one actually is on my reading pile. If you're wondering what do I want to read next, I want to read this volume, and I believe the second and third just got shipped from Takara. So because of that, this is one I'm going to take a deep dive in to find out what people are saying. Is this worth one of the best mangas of 2022? Next up, I got a series from 7 Seas that they say, if you love Witch Hat Atelier, that made my #1 best series of 2022. It's definitely now in my top 10 of best series of all time. They said, you have got to check out the Ancient Manga's Bride. So because of that, I went and I picked up the volumes that were available. There are several that I am missing, so it may be a while for 7 Seas to reprint. Luckily, the series is ongoing. I know it's a more popular series from 7 Seas, so So hopefully that means they will print it soon. I started reading the first volume and I did enjoy what I read of this poor girl being now transported to this other world and somehow trying to make it out and survive. So I'm looking forward to going and checking out this. It just looks so good, and because I was so blown away by Witch Hat Taylor, as soon as I get all the volumes, I will stop what I'm reading and I will start reading this next, as Witch Hat Taylor is probably one of the best series I've read in a long time. Last from Seven Seas, I got a series that was out of print for a long time that people didn't even believe was ever going to come back in print. But Seven Seas was very, very kind to listen to community feedback. I appreciate they have a survey almost every month asking, what do you want to see from us? So that is Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Now this is a 2-in-1 series. I appreciated this lovely. They did the better white paper that we saw from the first 2-in-1 volume of Tokyo Revengers. Unfortunately, the last volume doesn't have that lovely paper. This series is highly recommended by the manga professor. Because it got reprinted, I was like, you know, let's go ahead and take the jump. Takara Cafe was very kind to add this right away. When I asked them, I said, hey, I noticed this is coming back in print, and they sure did, and they sent it to me right away. And as you can see, this is not the same paper. Why? If we're gonna do the first 4 like this, let's do the last one like this too. Let's have them all match. But that's okay. I'm just grateful to check out the series to find out if it really is good as the professor says. Next up, let's go ahead and check out what I got from smaller publishers that's new to me. In this first series, it came out in May this last year, except for the hardcover editions. I bet you might know what I'm talking about, and that is Summertime Rendering. This series was one I just, man, a lot of people were talking about when it first came out, the paperbacks, this murder mystery series. The anime finally came out in America on Hulu, I believe a couple weeks ago. I decided I don't want to have the anime spoil the story, so I appreciate they pumped these out really fast. They brought the whole series out within just a couple months. Unfortunately, there's a little snafu with the hardcovers, and because I decided to spend a little more on the hardcovers instead of the paperbacks, had to wait till December and then to finally ship, and that is okay. So that is Summertime Rendering. It is on my must-read list soon because I want to let you know, was it one of the best series to come out in 2022. Next, from smaller publishers, this is from Dempa. This is Under Ninja. This is from the same author as I Am a Hero. I really appreciate his art style and just his kind of dark, dry humor. This just came out this January, so I went and picked it up, and I gotta say, man, Dempa, hands on to the quality. This is really nice. So this is one I actually, if you're wondering, it's got what's second on your read pile that you're just showing us. You show the Monster Detective one. Now the next one after that is Under Ninja. So this is what I want to read hopefully today after this video, and so I want to be able to see, is this one of the better ones that's going to be coming out this year. I was actually shocked Dempa already has volume 2 for pre-order. I'm hoping it doesn't get pushed back, as we know unfortunately so many of their titles do, but I was surprised, but I'm glad that they went ahead and we're getting this now in English. And last is a series from Square Enix. I was actually on the fence whether or not I ever wanted to get it, but because of that darn Right Stuff anime winter sale, I went ahead and I got it, as they had the whole series on a bundle, and that is the Apocrypha Diaries. And I've heard very good things with the dialogue and having kind of solved the mystery with each volume on trying to find the right cure for people. Here it's episodic, which doesn't float my boat as much, but because it was such a good deal, and because I've said, hey, even though it's episodic, this is one you're gonna want to check out. I want to go ahead and check out to see, is it really what people are saying? So that's the last one we got from smaller publishers. Whew. Now that is a lot of manga. Thank you so much for watching, seeing everything I got. Now I have to try to find a way to see how this is all gonna fit. My hauls for this future should not be, and I want to say would not ever be this big again, as I've now have most of the series have been reprinted that I've been hunting for so long. In the comments below, I'd love to hear from you. What did you pick up for the month of January, or what are you currently reading in January? And like I've said before, I look at your feedback. So if there's a series you think I should check out, please let me know. I will definitely take that seriously. I love hearing community comments on what series I should get. As you saw from my haul, most of these series I got was because of comments like you below saying, Scott, I think this is a series that you're going to want to check out. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, you've not done so already, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It helps others know that this community exists. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.